Hello. In this video, I will go through the process involved in reporting a grazing lunar occultation using the Occult software program. So open up Occult, go to Maintenance, and select User Settings. We want to be sure before we start that the email settings are correct. The program makes use of those, and we want to make sure they're correct. So I've entered an email address for myself that's not correct, but we can go with it for now. Exit that. And let's go to Lunar Observations. Select Edit or Add, Edit, and Plot. And we get a screen that shows up showing information that you might have submitted in a previous report. The information may or may not be right. We can fix it. So there's our header. We go to the header button and we're going to change anything that needs changing. For this case, I'm going to change the location of the observation for this particular event that I'm going to report. It was a town called Dresden, New York, along Seneca Lake in the Finger Lakes region of New York. I'm going to leave my email address as incorrect, but you should make sure yours is correct. All right, so that's now ready to go. We go to Sites and Names, and now this is where we're going to input our location information and our telescope information. I like to use degrees and decimal degrees. If you do, you want 5 decimal places for that. Since it's eastern longitude and I'm in the United States, I'm going to enter a negative value for the longitude. I'm going to enter a rounded off value, so there's 5 decimal places. And latitude, we'll enter that. Elevation above sea level for this event was 202 meters. So there's my site information and my elevation. You know, so if I go to degrees, minutes, and seconds, it's to the nearest tenth of an arc second, and we want that. So there's that information. For this particular event, I used my 8-inch Newtonian reflector. So that's a 15 centimeter and 90 centimeter focal length, Newtonian, equatorial, clock driven. Alright, it's an 8-inch reflector. Let's change that. Make sure I have the right information. So I've corrected my information there. Once it's all correct, I can add that as a new site. For observer name, put in first initial and last name. That's all you really need there. Add that. So there's our location, telescope, and name. We're ready now to enter some events. This event took place in 2001. And I'm just using it as an illustration. It was on the 15th of July. It involved ZC401. And enter that number there, and then click Identify Star, and make sure it's there. And this is not the correct star. I'm just going to say not listed. I know it's a ZC star. It says it's double. I didn't see any double star things going on with the observation. The first event we're going to report is a disappearance against the dark limb, and this is a graze event, so make sure that you click the graze box. All our observations are going to be with a graze. Method of timing is video other. I had to use a time inserter after the fact. I had radio time signals, but I had to have the video inserted with the time afterwards, so I'm going to select something slightly different than you might. You'll probably have a VTI time inserter, but I didn't have that luxury at that point. With video, no PE. Accuracy of my measurements was 0.05. For remarkable circumstances, look through the list and see if something fits. In my case, the dark limb was visible. It was a good morning, steady skies, good transparency, and I'm certain the events occurred. No double star effects were seen, as I just mentioned. The light level will be the 25% level. Again, only bigger stars would be a 50% level. We won't worry about duration just yet. Now I can enter my time. We're going to go with first event was at 8:16:24.0. And there's my first event. With grazes, you want to keep track of this residual number as you go along. they need to be pretty close together, one after the other. If something's really off, and I'll show you a little bit later how that works, then you need to make some changes and look for some errors. But let's say this is okay for now, and we're going to add this as a new event. Right. It allows you to save the event right away, and I'm not going to do that just now. I'm going to wait. But you probably should save it fairly often if you have a lot of events to enter, just in case things happen. Let's do the second event, and then I'm going to stop to show you how to finish up. 26.32 was a reappearance, again, against the dark limb. None of these other things have changed any. Everything is the same, and I can add that now as a new event. It gives me a statement here about the light level being the same, and it should be. It's the same star and the same event, so I'm going to click yes there. And now I have a chance to save it, and this time I'm going to save it, just to show you how. You want to put in, for the save, the year, the month, and the day, followed by your name, last name. That's so it can be kept track of by those receiving your files. So we'll save it. Right, we're all done. So let's say I've entered all my information. You'd keep going, and you'd keep saving and keep entering information. Let's say you're all done. You want to check, see how you did. Go to Reduce and Plot. Here's a list of your events and some other information. You can right-click on an event and display it against the profile. Right, let me bring this back in so we can see it better. So here's my event against the profile. You can see it's a little bit off from the profile, and that's a likely consequence of my inaccurate location. Should be pretty close to the profile if you've done everything right. Let's try the next one. Same deal. Right click, bring it up. Let me move it in here so we can see it better. And there's that event. If you want to see them all, when you get done, you'll have all kinds of events. It's a graze. Say plot events against the profile. And now you'll get all of them being plotted against the profile. You can change the way it's plotted. You can go to a Lola point presentation so you can see how the landscape changes there. I kind of like this one. And again, I know they're going to be wrong because of the incorrect site information, but that'll give you an idea of how things are. If you find events that are incorrect, that you obviously made a mistake on, you can go back. You can change anything you need to change and just say replace selected, and it'll prompt you to do that. You may have an event that's not quite a total disappearance or total reappearance. A blink is where the light level drops off but doesn't quite go to zero. A flash is where the star comes back but doesn't go to full light. For those events, you should indicate the time for the middle of the event. Typically they last a few tenths of a second or a few frames of the video. You should report the middle of each event and then provide an approximate duration. And again, that should be able to be read off your light curve. Right. So blinks and flashes may, and most likely do, include a duration. There's boxes here for signal to noise ratio if you've measured that from your video. Again, all the information should be the same as you go through a graze event, with the only differences being could be gradual. Grazes oftentimes have gradual disappearances and gradual reappearances. If it's a gradual event, you may want to also include a duration. How long did it take to disappear? How long did it take to reappear? Right. So those are options that can be added in. If you're all done, we've saved it already, we're ready to submit the report. So go up here and hit Submit Report. It reminds me I have two events, and that's right. And now for submitting reports, in North America, they go to two people. All grazes in the world go to Mr. Soma. So the first name on the list is right there. Make sure your email address is correct. Make sure his address is correct and submit OK. In North America, Derek Wright also wants to receive a copy. So you should click his address, make sure your address is right, and then click OK. If you live in other parts of the world, you may want to check with your local coordinator to see if they want to receive a grazing occultation report. It doesn't hurt to send it to them in any event, just so they have a copy. I'm going to cancel out of this so it doesn't get sent. It says I aborted. So there you have it. Quick review. Check the header, make sure location, email address and person is correct. Place in your latitude, longitude at 5 decimal places, elevation of the nearest meter, telescope information, observer information. This is a grazing occultation summary, so make sure the graze event box has been checked and you go through and you do your events in order. If you need to replace one, fix it, you can select the replace selected, put the new information in and replace it. Make sure all the information about timing and time source is correct. Accuracy, special circumstances, if the dark limb is visible or if it was a gradual event, indicate those. When you're all done, submit your report. It's that easy. Hope this video helps people out. If you have more issues, you can always go to the help file in Occult and check there for specifics. And the people on the IOTA Occultations Yahoo group will certainly help out if you ask a question there. Good luck with your observations, and we look forward to your reports.